Hello, fellow Whovians. Welcome to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS on this special Valentine's Day special that's taking place the day after Valentine's. We have a question for the panel and as well as our audience today. Should the Doctor fall in love? We're going to explore that question and a lot further on the day after Valentine's Day, and be forewarned because this is a special day, of course, for everybody. 75% off chocolates and candies. My name is Christian Basil. Years ago, I had an idea. I got myself a TARDIS. Took it to new places, met a lot of new people, took some great pictures, and talked Doctor Who. From Krypton Radio and the creators of the Hanging With web show, this is the legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Join me on my latest adventures and become part of the legend. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, and we hope that everybody who was celebrating yesterday, happy Valentine's Day, and all for your single people again. Yep, don't forget that there's 70% off of that candy and chocolates this today and for the rest of the week. And speaking of chocolates, we're going to actually be doing, I'm going to start a segment. Melanie doesn't know it yet, but we're going to start a segment. What is Melanie eating today?
Wow. Phrasing.
Yeah, I love
that idea.
That's a great idea.
Every episode you brought on a new food item from your friend.
That's because Mark.
Yes.
Yes, Mark.
And yes, Mark.
I know what I'm gonna have tonight. Maybe.
And don't forget, we were live with your chats tonight. Tonight we are going to be talking and discussing about the ultimate question: should the Doctor fall in love? You don't have to answer now, but we're going to be getting to your chats. So if you want to put them in the chats, by all means. And don't forget, as you can see at the bottom, like, share, subscribe, and comment along the way, because we like to get your comments in there. And boom, here we all are. Happy post.
Hey! Hey, Chris, Christian, quick question, though. Did you do this the day after Valentine's so you can get us all 75% off?
I want these.
Well,
yummy.
I already had them. So, sorry.
So you're getting reused guests also for after Valentine's. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
75% off.
Exactly.
In any case, welcome there.
Well, duh.
Let's go ahead and introduce our panel. And I know you've got to ditch out early tonight there. So everybody, let's say hello. Gosh.
Wow, I'm gone already.
They did
wow.
Already.
I'll see you. Bye. Thanks for having me.
Bye.
Bye, Mike.
If you want to hear my opinion, just listening to my podcast. Hi, guys.
There you go. Speaking of his podcast, it's Mike Faber from the ESO Network. And
pleased to be here again, Chris. Thanks for having me.
No problem there. And yes, we stole this topic fair and square from it, but we want to elaborate and we want to get people in the chats to chat away what their thought process was. And we'll be asking that question later on. How was your Valentine's Day?
My Valentine's Day was wonderful. It was pretty darn amazing. Went out for a nice Thai dinner with my lovely wife.
Oh, that's so cool.
So it was very cool. And then I had to record another podcast and, talked about Death on the Nile with, the guy up there. So from up north.
How was the movie? Just give us a synopsis. What did you think of the movie?
Death on the Nile was amazing. It was a fun movie. Was great. Kenneth Branagh loves the character, and it's just amazing that you could tell how much he cares about it. And it was fun to go see. And it's great for mystery, and especially if you haven't seen the originals, because there's two other versions of it, and of course the book. So if you aren't familiar with it, it's a great thing. If you take the ooginess of Armie Hammer out of it too, so it's okay.
Armie Hammer was Lone Ranger, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
and also
Leave it
I
there.
Spy.
I Spy.
Yes.
Yes.
Really?
Leave it there.
No, Man from Uncle. Sorry.
Oh,
Yep. He was.
Oh,
Man.
that's right. They redid Man from Uncle.
They did with that with
Man from
him and Superman. Yeah,
gotcha.
it was awesome.
Speaking of the other podcast, let's go to Dave Chapman. How you doing there, Dave? Welcome from the rathole.ca.
Hello, everybody.
Canada
If you want to hear my opinions, apparently you just go to Mike's podcast as well.
Mike's podcast.
I just
don't
like
even
how
know what we're
everybody's
here.
going, hey, if you want to really hear what I'm saying, just go to my stuff. Let's do my work out there.
Hey, I didn't even promote my own stuff. I promoted Mike's stuff this time.
I know.
Speaking of promotion, for those of you who are lucky to stay enough here at the after party, Dave, if you can give them a sneak preview of what you're going to be doing in the after party, just to show
I
them.
got a box. Actually, I got a box and another little treat to show off.
Yay! It's
He's got
unboxing, y'all.
box there.
And I can show you the thing we unboxed last week too, if we
Okay.
in more detail if we have
More
time.
details with
Because
that.
why not?
And finally, you know what? I'm going to say it today. Melanie Mort finally got back to me, and we're going to be doing stuff. And I said, dude, it's February. It's not 2021 anymore. You're going to have to give me a new commercial on this.
I know, right? But I don't
so-
care. I still want to play. I'm still down for playing.
No, I'm playing. No, we're playing. But I'm trying to figure out because he wants to do it on Steam, and I'm like,
Okay.
can we put Steam on YouTube?
Yes.
Does that work?
I
Oh,
We
don't
can
see
figure it
why
out,
not.
We'll
Yeah.
figure.
I haven't tried
figure
it.
it out.
I've got Steam. I've got an account, so I'm going to be testing that out. And whoever can help me out with that would
There's
be
an
great.
app for that.
There is an app for that. Speaking of an app for that, look at that. There's the lovely Melanie Dean. How you doing? There's an app for
Segue
her.
King
What-
still just not knowing how to do it 10 years in, but that's cool.
Wow.
It's
Wow.
fine.
Well,
Hi,
Melanie's-
everybody.
What Melanie's talking
So-
about is go ahead. I'm sorry. Go for it.
I don't know what the question was. You just
I
segued
never
to me and everything. But
How
anyway,
was your
so
Valentine's Day,
How was
Mel?
your Valentine's Day?
thank
Melanie?
you. My Valentine's was awesome. Check out this amazing card my husband gave me. Yeah.
Nice fun.
Oh my.
Wow. I guess that.
We love food, and yeah, last year's card I gave him was like a picture of bacon and eggs holding hands, and it said "I love you more than I love breakfast." And when you open it, it says
Aw.
"And I love breakfast."
And don't
Aw.
forget-
And you know how much I love breakfast. So yeah.
And
it's-
Melanie will be
it's-
controlling the chats tonight. I'm just going to throw this
Am
up there.
I? Oh,
Carl,
yes, I am. Hi, Carl.
Carl said specifically hello to you, Melanie. But we're gonna do
Hello.
the chats, and don't forget, please chat, share, like, and subscribe, as you can see at the bottom. And if you want to help contribute to the budget of this show to keep it going, and not only that,
Yes.
to do
Or-
enhancements.
send me candy.
There you
That's
are.
what
Mark-
Melanie
Mark-
candy.
Mark
Yeah.
does that.
I want to start this segment. What do you got there? Can't see.
I know. It's like Judy
We
gave
go-
me. There we
Stage
go.
left. Stage.
There
You're
you
the
go.
one.
Leave it there. We go
We go-
together like
Like
two
blintzes.
Okay.
Oh, that
Nice.
one's cool.
Yes.
Oh.
See,
I can't remember.
foodies unite. You know.
Speaking
Right?
of foodies, Chrissy made me
What?
a very special chicken parmesan, and it was very,
Oh, delicious.
very tasty. And she got the mozzarella from Publix. She made the chicken. She did all the breading. She did all the work there. All right, and I want to say hello to Noel. This is the first time I've seen you on this side here, Noel. If we may have another guest coming in later, so and
Who's Noel? So I know which one to click
Noel
on.
is the TARDIS Zone at the
Thank
very
you.
bottom. Sorry. The
Sir.
TARDIS Zone official channel. Everybody's putting out their podcasts on mine. That's fine. That's fine.
That's
Sure.
it.
Exactly.
And I'm going to say this, everybody, please, for all of our independent podcasters like the Rat Hole, like ESO Network, our friends over at the Spacebook, please like and subscribe and share. And of course, the TARDIS Zone, our friend Noel out there. Please like, share, and subscribe their podcast. Get our voices out there.
Don't
because-
shake your head, Mel. No.
Apparently, I don't have anything to promote, but cool, Chris.
Yeah, you do. You got your IG. You got your
Oh, yeah, I do.
Instagram. Pieces
That's
of
right.
Mayday.
Joking. But technically, I mean, is this really stealing something? If stealing a show topic, if two of the people who are on that show, including the person who created that, is on this show, it's just I think this
It's
is a
a
review of
spin-off.
that
An extension?
show. It's a spin-off.
A spin-off.
That's what it is.
It's cross pollination.
Exactly.
It's a spin-off, Mike, and then I'm the special guest that shows up and it's like, oh look, it really is it really is
Exactly.
Trevor
We are
John.
the class of Doctor Who podcasts.
Exactly.
That's right.
There
And we
used to
Oh,
be a
class.
Doctor Who podcast association, actually.
Really? Oh, that's right. They were on Facebook, but they kind of
They faded away. Yes.
They faded. They're still there. They're just not doing much of anything.
No, I was there at the beginning. Yeah.
Can we do the Torchwood spinoff? Not Class. Class was only one season.
Torchwood.
This is only one episode of a spinoff.
At the beginning of each episode, we'd all have to go. Exactly.
Melanie, before we get to the commercial break, let's go to the chats and hit up everybody who's in there. Let's say hello.
There you go.
You boing.
Sorry, there's
that's his way of saying hello. Our hashtag guru, Tom. Yes.
This is
Holyfield. Check him out over at everybody's going to the podcast, The Last Man Standing, and his podcast. Absolutely. Hey, Dan.
That's me shouting back at Dan.
That's you. We'll just have chats. That's all we're going to be is just chats all day long there. So
we have a good quick note of this one, which we'll get to a question, but just so that Ben 10 Omniverse fan club is.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's right there. We'll go when it's question time.
Oh, okay. When
you're just saying hello.
Got it.
So you already said hello and
Carl. I had a decent Valentine's Day. Yay.
Or is it Alentine?
Alentine.
Did he forget the he forgot the V?
You forgot the V. There was no victory.
It's for them. There's no
promotion.
V.
Yeah, it's true.
There's no V in Valentine.
And then somebody else says hello.
Somebody
I don't know who says hello with a hashtag next.
Don't talk about them.
No.
You don't want that. Hello, they're from British Columbia, Canada. Thank you for joining us tonight there. Of course, man. Of course.
Hello, A. No, there we go.
Hello, A.
The four people I stole. I mean, my four. Okay. You know what? This is probably a good time to get a commercial break. When we return, we're going to ask that big question, go through why we're going to be asking that question on this after Valentine's Day special. When we return, please continue to stay logged on. Tune in. Right, Mike Novi. I don't know why it reminded me of that. There's a sign that says, this is our ool. There's no P in it. There's a reason why.
Let's keep it that way. Yeah.
You literally was doing the segue. I clicked that up just to throw it up there.
I know.
And you just bam.
I know. And we've got some new commercial breaks. So when we come back and when we return, please continue to stay logged on, tuned in, and become part of the legend. Here we go.
Oh, brilliant! It's hard to believe that in the 56-year history of the greatest sci-fi television show in the English language, there has never been a fan guide to Doctor Who. The official books might give you what they think you need to know, but only a guide written by a true fan will give you what you really want to know. Join Whovian, the brilliant Mackenzie Flaw, as she takes you on an intensive journey inside the world of the first female Doctor. In the Binge Watcher's Guide to Doctor Who, Season 11. Right, let's get a shift on.
We are a touring acoustic duo crashing kitchens around the country. We go from house to house every Friday night and we create music, we create food, a good time, we stream it live and we do it for free. So now we're just really kind of like trying to develop it and build a community group that people believe in, then they'll help us. So we played from our rehearsal room, we played from the bathroom, thankfully that didn't catch on.
I probably played guitar in my room, not for anyone, in front of anyone, nobody heard, for probably about 10 years.
And then one Friday night we played from the kitchen. It's the main place people want to be. It's where the food is, it's where the drink is, it's where the best lighting is. You can go to any party and I guarantee you the kitchen is going to be popping.
Our ultimate goal, I think, would be to crash kitchens every Friday all around the world.
Jackie Sonnenberg's My Soul to Keep is a ghost story rooted in the realities of actual cults. When 13-year-old Sky Monroe arrives at her new boarding school, all she can think about is death and connecting with the afterlife. Soon she discovers her school's spirituality group, the Guardians of Light, and they have a secret. They can speak with the dead, and the organization is a cult. But this isn't Sky's only problem. The campus house where Sky resides is haunted, and even the ghosts have an agenda. They intend on getting the souls they want. Filled with mystery and intrigue plucked straight from the headlines, author Jackie Sonnenberg's research and attention to detail give this ghost story an even more eerie atmosphere. Find My Soul to Keep on Amazon.com today.
Now, we actually do have one commercial coming up, and sadly for us, it will be the last time that we play it. Just a week or two ago, we just lost one of our friends who's been a very instrumental person to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. We lost Meredith Lochran. She has been an incredible woman, and the sudden loss of her is just something. In fact, the StreamYard that you're watching this right now was Meredith. She believed in this show. She believed in a lot of her shows, and she was just a comic book guru, and she loved to support creative artists, creators, comic book developers. And I really can't put into words that she's going to be missed. She's really going to be totally missed out here. Nita, her partner who ran Ragin, they have changed over recently. They've now called it Ragin 2. She's found a new partner. But again, I can't even express how much this woman has meant to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS and to the people in the community around here in my area down south in Florida. That's great, Carl. We remember Meredith. And I really hope that you find somebody like a Meredith who believes in you. We just had met a while back before the COVID hit. She came up to me and she met me at Space Coast Comic-Con, and she was really interested in the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. We hit it off, and she with a bunch of other comic book creators let us use her StreamYard so that we can get our product out there. So Meredith, I can't thank you enough. I hope wherever you are, it's a better place. And I hope someday all of you are going to meet somebody like Meredith, because she was just a wonderful person. So in honor of Meredith, we're going to run her Raging commercial one last time. And if you get a chance, go over to your YouTube channel. It is now called Ragin 2. Once Nita runs the new bumper, we'll be more than happy to run it in honor of Meredith.
And it's Meredith's voice over
it's Meredith's voice over that. So here you go, Meredith, one last time.
Hey there, this is Meredith Lochran with Ragin, and I wanted to let you know that we encourage and promote independent creators and their projects through organic interaction, consultations, and more. Visit Nita and me at RaginAVC.com for details and contact information. Hit the button.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Sorry I bummed out everybody, but Meredith needed a shout out, and she deserved it, especially from all of us, because our success, if you want to call it that, we would not be here. We would not have grown as exponentially as we have. And Meredith has been pretty much not only the backbone, but the heart of the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. And I wish she actually came on. She always said, yeah, I might do it one day. I might do it one day. And, missed opportunity. I wish she could have come on, but thank you, Meredith, for everything. Now, let's get back to the topic. And Melanie, if you want to bring up more chats, because I see some more people have brought up in there. You. All right, people, let's kick this off. Do you want romance for the Doctor? Well, let me give a little bit of a background to this, because I've got some things to show for people who may not be familiar. And Mike, if I get this wrong,
I'll correct you. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, I know you
Yeah, we go.
Now everybody is firmly aware about the kiss that was heard around the Whoniverse. This started a very big this is before Twitter. The first time ever the Doctor kisses a companion and smooches with it. He does it twice. He does it the time that he goes, I am the Doctor, and he starts realizing who he is with the Eye of Harmony, and at the end with the fireworks display. Now here's the thing. It's not the first time a companion would kiss the Doctor. If you go back to the 1980s with Peter Davison, this is the first kiss that ever a companion smooched with the Doctor. But he does, I think, what his Doctor would have done. He kind of just goes off to the side and let her do it. So this is kind of actually the first smooch. It's Nissa. She's leaving in Terminus. It was an American thing. Actually, it's a Canada thing.
Sure is.
Canada.
Don't blame us.
Blame Canada.
And see, that's how you do a setup, Christian.
So to me, that was kind of the first kiss in Doctor Who, but it was Nissa as she was leaving in the episode called Terminus. Tegan was trying to convince Nissa, no, don't go. And she goes over to the doctor. The doctor walks up and basically Nissa says, no, I gotta go. And even though that she might die, which I don't think it happens in the series, I think she comes back because we've seen her in a lot of stuff, especially in Big Finish.
Oh yeah.
That was it there. Flash forward to 2005 and well, yeah. We know.
Oh,
it just keeps
going.
No.
Whoa. What do you? Let's say flash forward to 2000. There we go. It's like
there
no,
we
it started
go.
with April 9.
Yes.
Kiss Rose and Kiss Jack.
Yeah, there you go. And it's not the only. That was just a thin thumbnail of all the kissing that was going on in the TARDIS out there.
Well, if you want to go for any romance, though, you have to go all the way back to the Aztecs with the first Doctor.
Where the first Doctor accidentally gets married?
Yep.
Is that how it worked? If I remember
Yep.
that?
He had his hot cocoa.
He had his hot cocoa with the Aztec. I guess she was like the mother of all the, the ancient one or something.
But they
like
never
that.
interacted. Like they never did anything physical. It was just
So an old married couple, then, basically.
an old married couple, yeah.
Yeah.
The setup was like very comedic too, because
Right.
the camera even panned in, and he was like,
What?
This
kind of the first times we see the Doctor like get snogged, or at least at that point, and then he snogs her.
Oh yeah.
So knowing that, I don't. If I'm not mistaken, Melanie, I don't think you've seen the TV movie. Dave, you haven't seen the TV movie. Oh yeah, you have. But did you see it around 96, or you saw it later on?
No, I saw it much later on.
Much later on. So,
I agree. Oh yeah, I saw the 96
impression?
movie.
Yeah, what was your impression?
I was yelling at the TV. The Doctor doesn't kiss the companion. No. And it was funny because I was still with my ex then, and she had never seen an episode of Doctor Who, and she was like, "What's wrong with that?" And it was just like, the Doctor just doesn't do that. No. And I went off for like 10 minutes going in. It's like, yeah.
Well, I mean, it wasn't something that we were accustomed to, because I remember an interview with Tom Baker when they were talking about the relationship with Sarah Jane and the fourth Doctor and how that progressed. He mentioned that the Doctor was asexual.
Yes.
And he even cites the scene where they're in the Ark in space, where he's pulling her out of that area, that tube or whatever that thing was that she was stuck in. And he didn't even pull her out right. It's not like he didn't know where to grab her. He just grabbed her where he could and pulled her out of the tube. So he didn't, it was the fact that he didn't know where to properly grab Sarah Jane. It just, wasn't there. He admits the character was asexual. And I think of that when you're going from the first Doctor all the way up to the seventh Doctor, and until you get to the eighth Doctor. So yeah, I was kind of the same way too, but I didn't know what was worse. The first kiss of the Doctor and the companion, or the half-human aspect of the whole thing.
There were so many things wrong with that.
There were so many things going on wrong out there. But Dave, when you first saw Doctor, I was yelling yes.
Yeah, that's okay.
Dave, when you saw it, what was your impression of that?
It didn't even faze me.
It didn't faze
honestly.
you because you saw New Who, or because it was just
I had seen, at that point I saw it after I saw New Who. But just in general, I think I'm one of those people that's like, meh. I was new enough in the fandom to not realize what a big deal it was. Right. So to me, it kind of came across the same way as like, watching it now and seeing, Kirk kissing Uhura.
Right.
And
well, Kirk was kissing everything, so that's okay.
Also true. Also true. The opposite end of the spectrum there.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was a precursor to Captain Jack.
Yes.
The breeze. Casanova Jr., the Casanova Doctor down there. So Melanie, you have you seen the TV movie yet, or no? Not yet. You have seen it. And I'm assuming it didn't phase you either, because you came in with the 50th anniversary.
Well, you see, the thing that fazed me, because again, I saw it completely out of order and not in the same within our like linear timeline of, you know, when it was aired or
Right.
close to that. The fireworks. I was just like, really?
Yeah.
Really?
A little obvious there.
I was
You know?
like, really? This is what we're gonna do? It was a little
You
on the
know.
nose. I'm like,
So is this a Viagra commercial or is this Doctor Who?
What?
seriously, it's like, really, we're really pushing this to become a greeting card. I'm like,
Mhm.
it was like more me being more not about the kiss, but I was more just about how it's presented. I'm like, really, we're going that sunshine, and here's the fireworks, and here's the kiss, and it's nighttime, and look at how it's framed, and it's romantic. And I was like nonplussed. I was like,
See, Mike and I come from going forward. So when we saw that episode, we were like, no, this can't be happening. This can't be, you know, like you said, there were so many things going on wrong with that episode, but there were so many great things that came out of it.
Oh, very much so.
You know, no, context is everything when discussing the subject. I think a romance makes the Doctor more vulnerable, and that's a very good point. It does make, well, I think it makes anybody more vulnerable in their situation, because when we saw Doctor Who, and I'll throw this to everybody out there, including the chats, when we first saw Doctor Who as the classic series, you know, that was something that just didn't happen. That was something that just didn't go in the Doctor's life. And even though everybody and the mention of Susan, it was like, well, where did Susan come from? We can also argue that, you know, what do we know about the Time Lords procreating, or what do they call entertainment,
or how they procreate,
or how they procreate, or what they do in the proverbial bedroom of the panopticon. So I'm just like, you know, it's left up to interpretation. Now, what was it? The Trial of the Valeyard. The children are considered time tots, and when the question was all up, they had mentioned that children don't even know where they came from. Which is that's in the Trial of the Valeyard, and that was like they knew, you know, they don't exactly know where they came from or how it happened. So I don't even know if there is a concept of mother and father. And if you think about the discussions that 12 and Bill had during their time, you know, they're beyond this, you know, sex being something of, you know, an entertainment or procreation. They're beyond this kind of level. So what do they do? Carl Witzman saw the episode back when it came out, and I was upset about a lot in the movie. Someone rewrote that so badly. I just think, you know,
when studios have too much free will of giving notes, and the writer's like,
I know, it's just like
the first draft was
thanks, Fox. We appreciate it. You know,
thanks.
So knowing and going over it, Dave, knowing that what we knew from the Eighth Doctor, and then seeing like the kiss that finally, people even debate whether it was a kiss or not. He was rescuing Rose of the transference of the what was that time stuff that was in her head, trying to get
you need a doctor.
Right, you need a doctor.
Yeah. Which even then I rolled my eyes. I'm like,
exactly. What did you think of that? That's an eye rolling thing, but it's just like, you know, with the cheesiness and the camp that Doctor Who was, it didn't faze me. So at this point, Mike, what did you think when you finally saw that kiss happening again?
Again, it was like he was saving Rose's life. And I thought, okay, it's just part of the story. And he had already been snogged by Captain Jack at that point. So it was okay. But, you know, it's interesting. I've never had a problem with Ninth Doctor and Rose. I thought they worked really, really well together. Yeah. And anyone who listens to my podcast knows of my hatred of the 10th Doctor and Rose, because Rose became a lovesick little puppy. And, you know, and then him and the Doctor were like, hey, you know, playing around and everything, like all the lovey-dovey couple. And especially like when they got to the point with, you know, like Fear Her and all those episodes, and then, you know, Army of Ghosts. And it was like I had lost my affection for Rose by that point. It was time for her to go. But it's interesting too, because then you had Martha as the rebound, and then Donna was the true companion again, which was awesome. But then you got the whole thing with Amy Pond, and then you got into River Song, and River Song is a whole nother beast. I'm sure we'll get to in a few. and I don't want to hog the space with that. But my feeling when 9 kissed Rose, it was just, to me, it was just a plot point. It wasn't even anything. I didn't feel any romance or anything from it. He was just saving her life. That's the only way he could transfer the energy. We're not like in the TV movie where he just went out and snogged her.
I know. I'm thinking, because to me, when it's coming to classic Who, I've always thought the Doctor being a father figure to the companion, not a lover of the companion.
Mm-hmm.
The Doctor is supposed to be doing what the Doctor does, and the companion is supposed to be our eyes on the Doctor, and the way that, he kind of course corrects things from, like, because I couldn't see myself with Sarah Jane in 4 or 3, or Joe Grant having it off with John Pertwee, even though when they left their doctors, you could see that it hurt them. It hurt both of their hearts.
Oh yeah. Well, especially Joe Grant, when he, there was like a true sadness. And it also was interesting that she left the Doctor for someone very similar to the Doctor.
We're going to get to your chats in a little bit. We got a good commercial break when we return. And Melanie, I need to ask a favor. Sorry, I just got to run to the front door. If you can run the commercials for me, I'll be right back. When we return, please continue to stay logged on, tuned in. They're in order. Just hit 3 and we'll go from there.
No, it's a matter of I keep trying to push something on the buttons here and
Oh,
it wasn't
okay.
allowing me. So I don't know if it was me and Dave trying to click this one comment at the same time.
No, that's
so
fine.
you can't. Okay, so that's why when you started saying use the commercials, I'm like, I don't know if I can. So bear with me, everyone. I'm gonna try.
See if they'll run.
Let's see if it'll let me do it. Eek. Oh my god, how many overlays do you have?
Well, I'll get rid of them.
I
had to do all that.
I mean, I added a couple too, so not videos. I added a couple of stills, different section.
Heck, are we? I'm just gonna. All right, here we
I
go,
love that
guys.
this isn't my show.
We're gonna wing it, and 3, 2, 1, go.
Author Cindy Koepp is writing on the edge. Books include Remnant in the Stars, The Loudest Actions, Lines of Succession, Mindstorm, Condemned Courier, the Yerushalayim series, and Animal Eye. Find author Cindy Koepp at CKOEPP.com today. Famous Faces and Funnies in Melbourne, Florida is leading the way in pop culture fun. From comic books and graphic novels to Funko Pops and collector's items, Famous Faces and Funnies has it all. Rick Shea and the professional team at Famous Faces and Funnies are friendly and knowledgeable. Whether you're looking for toys, props, collector treasures, or a new comic book, Famous Faces and Funnies is your one-stop shop. To find Famous Faces and Funnies on Facebook and Twitter, just type at FFF Comics.
Meet the Doctor.
I'm the Doctor.
But not the one you were expecting.
All right, sexy. It's time to go home.
Doctor Who Velocity. Streaming now.
In the summer of 1953, private investigator Will Lucky Marks was working as the in-house private eye for Arcane Pacific Pictures. Trapped inside the studio with the killer, Lucky must find the killer before time runs out. Lot 28. Own it today. Available iTunes and Amazon.com.
Wow.
What was that, Christian? Melanie, run the commercials, and then suddenly,
Love it.
y'all.
Everyone was. Where'd Dave go?
Yeah,
You know
exactly.
what? I'm going where Dave is. I'm just.
Oh,
Wow.
Hey, I'm not touching anything at this moment. Welcome back to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS and how technical issues can just come up at any given moment.
No, I took myself out.
You took yourself. Oh, okay.
Okay. I'm glad she
Dave,
can do that. I wish I
I
could
know.
sometimes. No.
Oh, you can.
Might as well. I mean, we're taking your show topics. Might as well let you have the power of
There
that
you go.
too.
Bring back Dave in there.
Hello.
There you go. Boom.
Welcome back. Thank you for everything, folks, and thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing to the YouTube channel. And don't forget, we've been climbing. Actually, between this episode and the last episode, we jumped like 20 people up on our
no
YouTube
idea
channel.
why.
So
Sorry, guys.
I don't know.
idea
I'm
why.
always amused, but that's a whole different story.
Mike is amused. Okay.
Yes.
Let's get to your chats. Again, James says a Time Lord having a relationship with a non-Time Lord is like token elf having a relationship with a human. It's over and done with in a blink. That's what she said. Doing that over and over for hundreds of years would be very mentally taxing, you'd think.
No, exactly.
I think, yeah, because we had mentioned that, Mike, and I know you gave me a hard time, but I just like the romance is kind of wearing thin, and that's why I kind of like Nardole and 12 at the time we come, because we're going back to buddy because there was kind of romance thing going with Rose, Martha, Astrid, Christina de Sousa. I mean, he was like, snogging everyone left and right for whatever reason. There were always romance that went into Matt Smith with Clara a little bit there. And, which depends on which Clara. It's Dalek Clara, which was flirting from inside the Dalek, and Snowman
Run,
Clara.
you naughty boy.
Run, you naughty boy.
But it was also interesting that 11 was able to rebuff Amy.
Mm-hmm.
Because when Amy totally came on to him after the Weeping Angel story, he realized that it was her wedding night, and that he not kidnapped her, but took her, and on her wedding night, and then tried to snap, and she was totally coming on to him. This was her, basically her imaginary friend who's come to life, who she met once when she was a little girl, and she totally came on to him. And she would have, if it was David Tennant's Doctor, it would have been an X-rated movie at that point. But if it was
getting really close. I mean, there was that scene where she's in the TARDIS, and this was one of the, I guess, the extra scenes that were in the TARDIS where she, she's trying to still come on to the Doctor. Then she hits a button on the TARDIS and notices all the companions that he's had. Control Freak strikes again. Nice.
And we're considered surprised? No.
Anyway.
But yeah, but it's interesting that she did do that, and then when she found out, oh, look at this one in the leopard bikini or whatever she said, and it was just awesome. And they're just friends. They're just friends, And it's like, and that's what he considered them, though. And it's like he didn't consider them really romantic partners, even though you had someone like Leela, or you had a Sarah Jane, or a Romana, and we had talked about I think that was some of the best chemistry, obviously, between Tom and Lila, but that went down real quick, and then you had some of the worst chemistry towards the end there.
They ended up marrying the actress actually ended up marrying the real. The second Romana, played by Lala Ward and Tom Baker, actually got married in real life right after the series. I think they waited until after the series to do that. Christopher Chatfield, it seems like anything goes these days. I've stopped caring since the 96 movie Kiss. Just accepted it. So yeah, a bit weird through, since it's William Hartnell 12 or 13 people, or 12 or 13 people back. That's why I actually appreciated Nardole, because we went back to the buddy system. And Donna was a good, even though it was kind of hinting a little bit. Yeah, I mean, they didn't go full on, but you're not meeting with me, sunshine. And that kiss to, that ended up.
Oh, that was, I think that was her effectively just telling the entire audience, telling everyone, no.
Right.
No. She just, when she thought she had heard him saying, I want two mates, not I need a mate.
Yes.
She was like, no.
No,
and even then, the kiss that they ended up, funny enough, they ended up kissing. Yeah. But it was shocking. It was her way of shocking the heck out of him. And it was even just everybody just like, ew, So it was really funny.
Yeah. And it looked like, but as you mentioned there, and there was some, say, what was it? That was,
Martha would have murdered to have a kiss.
What was it? The Pompeii episode where he goes, "Oh, you're husband and wife," and goes, "No." They were throwing things in there, but it was, they kind of, Donna comes up, so you're not mating with me, sunshine, and that was returning back to the buddy system. It's like, I have no affection for you except, I will fight for you, I will die for you.
It made for great comedy.
It did.
It honestly did, especially when finally, I mean, you could see that that Donna especially does not want to be. I'm not his wife. I'm not his girlfriend. But then at one point,
for her,
very skinny boy. But that point where she, what was the episode? It said something about her. Oh yes, you must be saying something about her being single. I can't remember the line, but I remember her going single. What makes you think I'm a miss or not a miss? That kind of thing. What air gives you the thought that I'm single? It was funny because it was that she's so protective of what of whether or not she's available, but it clearly is. But she wants to be available, but definitely not attached to that one.
Right. Well, as Clara says, it's just like there were other guys as they showed her in the last Christmas in the last episode where she's older. It was like there were other guys, but there was no one guy that was impossible. They couldn't stand up to him or something like that. I'm paraphrasing. Well, James continues. Oh, I'm sorry.
That was originally supposed to be Claire's last scene too.
I know, and I would have
which would have made it wonderful. It would have been awesome.
It would have
anything would have been wonderful as long as she just went away at that point.
Yeah. It just made me. I'm just saying this as a side note. It just made me angrier because the whole life that ended up killing the person that she loved, Danny Pink, she ran right back into, and it just made me despise her character that much more. That's not on Jenna Coleman. It's just the writing.
I think Moffat had written a beautiful arc to close her character out, and he had done so well, much to the credit of how his credit of being a writer, he couldn't write himself out of that. It's the he had sealed that bad boy up in a perfect little bow. He's like, okay, we're done, we're putting it away. Oh, I have to write that. So I think that it literally he dug his own grave on that one. And I think that's why so many people are just like, oh, will you just go? Because I mean, he did his job. Clara is done.
Yes. I know.
Probably not.
Darn actress. Exactly.
I just remember when I wrote a play a long time ago, the director of the play asked me to write a scene for her daughter, and it kind of just drove me nuts because I'm like, why am I'm just writing an extra character for your daughter to appear. So I wrote her character it was just a joke. It was just a throwaway line. She came in, said a joke, and then left, and that was it. But it doesn't add or it didn't do anything for the play except I just added a character so her daughter could be in it. I see this as kind of the line that should never have been in there when she runs off with him again. It's just like, this should have been the end. It should have been sweet. I actually liked her because she was in the sled and she didn't want to wake up. She wanted to stay with Santa for that moment. And I was actually had more respect for her. It's just like, no, I don't want this to end. And
no, I agree completely with that. It should have. But then you also had two of the most romantic moments. And one of them was with Capaldi and the other was with Matt Smith. One, of course, was the Doctor's wife, which was just an amazing, and that's the Doctor's true partner. And
he wished really, really hard.
Really hard. Well, I got to say this. There's an episode called
He calls me sexy. Of course he does.
There's an episode called The Doctor's Wife, and we have River Song. So which one's really the Doctor's wife? Or are they both the Doctor's wife?
They're both technically. Yeah. He's polyamorous. It's okay.
Yeah, that works. Yeah.
And now this came up. Bring up Chris. Well, I'll just bring it up because I'm sitting here. Because we brought this kind of came up earlier in that he was previously described as being asexual. Every Doctor's different though. That's especially in this. Like now again at the time I was like whatever. But with the Eighth Doctor is very much a heart on their sleeve romantic doctor. that character is very, very different than the literal grandfather figure of
Hartnell.
one. Yeah, Hartnell.
Yeah, and some people, if you're asexual, you can still have romantic relationships. It's just there's no sex a part of it, so still kind of works.
It does. It does.
Well, when it comes to like the Eighth Doctor, yeah, I do. When people ask me, well, what do you think of the Eighth Doctor? And I always use the word romantic. But when I use the word romantic, I use it that he has a lust for life. He has a zest for things out there. If he sees, when it comes to the Doctor, as far as like, let's say there's like a piece of snot on the ground, he'll look at it and see the beauty of it. When we can't even fathom it. We can't even look at it and press it. It's like, well, it's a pile of snot. And then he sees there's life teeming and there's something going on down there. That's the way I see the Eighth Doctor as a romanticist in everything that he sees the universe, which is actually, ironically, the big arc that goes on with the Eighth Doctor, because he ends up fighting the Time War before he regenerates. So he loses not only his lust for life, because at one point in Dark Eyes, he tries to end it. He just loses everything that he was and says, you know what, I'm not a doctor anymore, make me a warrior. So it's
exactly.
He did a little bit of that in Stranded too.
Yes,
yeah.
he does.
It's just that when he lost the romanticizing everything.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Dave. No, go, Dave.
I was gonna say it's the pulp, the old pulp version of romance. When you see it, John Carter of Mars, you see that something like that era, and they say romance, they don't mean romance in the sexual romantic way that we thinking. It's a very different definition in that era, and that's also kind of how I see the Eighth Doctor as well. It's that definition of romance.
No, I could see that totally, and it's interesting too because Paul McGann is a very romantic actor and everything. He just has that aura to him. I couldn't see Sylvester McCoy snogging Grace at all, So I just don't think that would have worked. And it's interesting because you see that Tennant is the same way. You didn't have that with Eccleston, and Eccleston, was very gruff, and and where Tennant was very Casanova basically. And it fit perfectly for it. And I'm totally not against it and everything. I'm, not the old grumpy guy. And, I'm only.
It just can't be Rose.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyone but Rose is.
Anyone but Rose. Any ABR. Anyone but Rose. So,
well, yeah. A couple of things that led into this was that when RTD brought it back in 2005, he made it very aware that he was heading in a Buffy direction. And from what I interpreted, what he was meaning by that is that if everything that came before in Classic Who was the brains, then 2005 on was going to be the heart, and they were going to work together and function together. So there's more heart, more emotion going on. It's not just he's fighting off the bad guys, he's got a companion, they're fighting the bad guys, and then moves on. But he's actually feeling that, and the Time War really kicked it in, especially now that we discuss like the Ninth Doctor having PTSD out of the Time War. Maybe his defenses are down because he is more vulnerable than ever before. He's lost his family, he's lost his planet, he's lost his people. He was the one that made that final decision, and having somebody like Rose bring in the love, and support, I think he was a little bit more vulnerable. And when he got to the 10th Doctor, you saw that he was able to be vulnerable with Rose. So it continued on to the romantic Doctor or the Casanova Doctor.
Oh, no, absolutely, because with 9 at one point, he's kind of telling her about him kind of opening up a little bit about like with the PTSD in mind, and she kind of turns and says, he's saying, I'm the last of my kind, there's nobody else, and she turns around and says, well, there's me. So it kind of she's showing him that he's not alone. So you can and then with 10, and I'm just completely piggybacking off what you're saying. With 10, the idea was what he even says is all you need in life is a hand to hold. And that was you saw that motif constantly with the two of them holding hands.
Right.
So you can see where the romantic part of it was starting to kind of grow, but then it became a little too.
But it was interesting because
I love Rose,
and not that far into Tennant's first season, he had no problem going off with Madame Pompadour either.
Yeah, Yep.
Exactly, and
foreshadowing, maybe.
Exactly, possibly. Yeah. And it was just interesting that it was like if he had a thing for Rose, he also had no problem snogging somebody else or whatever. And
that one, it kind of always got me, for me, because I did like Rose. I always thought I found that kind of odd, because here you were building this kind of thing, and then you could see where the writing style, where Moffat was kind of going in that, nope, you're not, it's not going to be Rose and 10 Doctor shippers. Nope, we're changing this up. Which even then it was kind of fun. It is a great episode because the two of them start acting like a married couple. Rose and 10, because it's like, you're not keeping the horse, so it kind of, to me, I thought that it started kind of nudging them into another part of the relationship where it could have just been a really deep friendship. Maybe there were a little bit of romantic parts in it, but just really kind of solidifying. But then it just went back into lovey-dovey, blah, 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 blah. And I think that the Girl in the Fireplace could have been that opportunity to just be, look, we love each other so much that we're like the old married couple, where it's not necessarily the fun, the sexual portions of it, but they're just bickering at each other because they know and respect and love each other so much. But
but remember, there was a brief moment that 10 had to think about it in The Impossible Planet, when he had to realize when the TARDIS disappeared, they're sitting at the table and, he's going like, can I live a normal life? And she goes, you need to get a mortgage, things like that. So now he's having to consider it because he's stuck on a planet and he's not even sure he's going to get the TARDIS back. So he's had the freedom of grabbing the TARDIS, running away when his responsibilities are done. But what if he has to be the responsible one and he kind of gets stuck into it? And I thought that was an interesting take on The Impossible Planet. And what was it? The second episode on that?
Satan's Pit.
Satan's Pit. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Speaking of which, Satan's Pit. We got commercial break when we return.
Wow.
Sorry, but we love our sponsors. But
I'm sure they love us right now.
Right now they don't.
Wow, calling them Satan Pits. Wow.
We'll be right back. We're going to get to your final chats, and we're going to be heading to the after party, and we've got a few surprises when we return. Please continue to stay logged on, tune in, become part of the legend.
You have more options than ever before when choosing a film, a television or internet series, a book to curl up with, or even a radio show or podcast. Get to know the people who are creating for you. The Hangin' With Web Show, hosted by award-winning author and journalist G.W. Pomacher, is the internet's fastest-growing web talk show series. The Hangin' With Web Show features professional, yet casual, in-depth interviews with creative arts and entertainment pros. Meet the people behind a digital revolution in creating more quality content than ever before in the history of media. Find the Hangin' With Web Show on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, or simply go to www.hanginwithshow.com. That's www.hanginwithshow.com.
The massive audio Doctor Who Bad Wolf Bluetooth TARDIS speaker. That's all I gotta say, one word. Wow. It looks like it just jumped right off the screen. Here it is in all its Bad Wolf glory. Right here is the on-off switch and the up and down volume. Right here's the speaker. The TARDIS stands about 6 inches from the bottom of the TARDIS all the way up to the top where the light is. Look at the detail. Wow.
Well, definitely checking out a new segment here at the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, because this year May 19th will be the 10th year that the Traveling TARDIS has existed on Facebook and has just existed in general. I actually don't have him here. He's taking a nap out there. So our new segment will be the Traveling TARDIS picture of the day. So let me go ahead and remove the banner because that's just in the way there. But just to give you some pictures, and especially celebrating Valentine's Day, this is Cookie Dough Cosplay. She is wonderful, and she has had a lot of picture up there. But yes, that's everybody kissing the TARDIS out there. There was a dating, what do they call them? Geek dating over at MegaCon, and these two lovely
the speed
ladies,
dating.
Yeah, the speed dating, and these lovely ladies were giving a nice snogging in the TARDIS out there. And definitely, I want to give a shout out to our friends Richard and Carrie Smith, who had a wedding a while back, and they definitely wanted to have the Traveling TARDIS be part of their wedding. So, lovely couple out there.
That's awesome.
That is Richard and Carrie Smith. And I wanted to show these little memes out here. And Dave, I want you to read the first meme for me. Here we go.
Oh, goodness. Roses are red, Earth needs protecting. I'm the doctor, but probably not the one you were expecting.
There you go. And Melanie, here's the other meme.
Roses are red. The moment is summoned. Be my Valentine, or I'll push this button.
There you go. So that was our little segment of the Traveling TARDIS pictures of the day. Dan, where did Dan Snow go? Well, I do want River rescued from the library computer. So yes, she has an expanded lifespan.
Yeah, we're 56 minutes in, and we haven't even touched River yet.
I know.
We went on to Rose, Anti-Rose.
Apparently, no, not even.
Oh, we also did all a classic. So I mean, there's 13 Doctors.
So the question is, and if you want to throw a River song in there, should the Doctor fall in love?
Yes.
Dave?
I wouldn't mind seeing it. It does depend a little bit on what the next generation of the regeneration of the Doctor is and their personality. But I wouldn't mind seeing it if it was someone that is kind of an equal. If I'm a big fan of MASH, and there's an episode of MASH where Colonel Potter and this Colonel head nurse comes over, and they kind of have a thing. They don't really have a thing, but they recognize we have the same life experiences, and that's what the Doctor needs. Doctor doesn't need a little, a companion romance or a one night stand. He needs someone who has that similar life experiences. Missy, I could totally see, him and obviously not the current master,
James.
but Missy, sure.
James, I got kids watching.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bring it up.
I could totally see it.
And I will mute just in case the audio's on there. So
not people.
Roses are red, dogs are great, and here they come, exterminate. There you go. Melina, get in here. I sent you the link. Come on in, girl. Sorry. No, it's fine. I think we've got one or two that you'll be there in a bit. We only got so much time there, girl. Got it. Come on in, Melina. Yeah. I want to introduce Melina. She wanted to be part of this, and we'll take some of this into the after party in just a few moments out there. So, Melanie, should the Doctor fall in love?
Yes, absolutely. That's why people fight for things. That's why people make poor decisions. That's why people make good decisions. Yes, I'm all for it. However, I am kind of more on the maybe not so rapid fire, because you are this ancient old, being that's, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years old. I would that I'm good with the romancing kind of happening, and then just like any other type, like relationships, people have relationships, and then they have through their little drive spell, and then they have a relationship. Here, because it's a Time Lord again, you could be thousands of years old, at least hundreds of years old, if you're not 12, who ended up being millions of years, or whatever the heck he was when he was stuck in that little thing that just threw my timelines completely off. Thank you, Moffat. I could see him having different, wives. There's different periods of their life where you fall in love with somebody, they pass away or whatever, if it's a human or whatever species. I mean, I I always point to, and I'm going to point to this, even though it's going to be kind of different because I'm not talking about romance, but we have pets. We have cats, we have dogs, we have animals. We all know that we love them. They're our own, like our children, but we're all going to probably outlive them. It doesn't mean that you're only going to get one ever. Some people, never again once they're done with having a cat. If it passes away, they're done and never going to have another animal to replace it. That's fine. There's people who, same thing with the life. They have multiple husbands or wives because they've become a widow or widower.
Mm-hmm.
They found somebody else new and then they got married again. And the cycle might continue. So maybe for a Time Lord, it happens. The widower thing happens a lot more. I'm not against that. Live your life. Be happy. Find what makes you happy and brings you joy. And, if you have a long time span, then go for it. I don't care.
And can you bring up James's comment that just popped
Which
in
one?
there? James
the first James or the second one?
I know, right? There's two of them.
Sorry.
Back to back even.
James is, yes, the no relationship for the Doctor going forward. James Install from Geek to Me Radio. Actually, I did an interview. He actually interviewed me, so check it out on Geek to Me Radio there. But he's saying no relationships for the Doctor going forward.
Because when you said that, like James, I'm like, there's two
Sorry,
James.
I
Each have a
didn't-
different opinion. So
I was
James
looking
said no
at James, I
relationships
didn't
for the
see
Doctor
other
going
three
forward.
James chats up there. So
And
the Doctor with the
James
set down some
Airman,
rules.
Airman. I'm sorry.
Airman.
The Doctor would have to set down some rules, expectations for potential partners, and that I agree with.
That's what I was saying. I think he needs a partner. He wouldn't have to.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Time Lord?
Another Time Lord, another other extremely long-lived whatever it may be.
Hashtag
Thanks, Tom.
Well,
yes, we did get. That's a valid question.
unlimited power.
He's going
Yes.
to a podcast right now recording for Dragon Con.
Yeah, he's recording for Dragon Con,
Live.
so he had to dip out.
Live.
Live.
Oh, James is pronounced Herman.
Herman.
The I is silent
yeah.
and stupid. So,
Sorry, but at least now I know.
okay. So I
quote
have
you
to ask
correctly.
this
Thank you,
question
James.
because we're coming right up against the end of the audio portion of the show. When the Dream Lord mentions that Queen Elizabeth, she thought she was the first, what did he mean by that?
Which one?
The Dream Lord in Amy's Choice. They mentioned, remember, he had this running thing with Queen Elizabeth I.
Well, I think that's
And
also the play on words that she was allegedly
she
the
was-
Virgin
She
Queen.
thought she was
Yeah.
the first. And Tom puts in a nice quote. So I'm just saying, I don't know, because there was that romantic thing in the 50th anniversary between
Yes.
Queen Elizabeth I and everything. But was that did he actually do anything, or that was just the
Well, they
Dream
also
Lord just
remember he
being
even
taught?
brings up that he married her, or he had like a little thing or something. Wow, what was it when he had to go see the Ood, and he was wearing his little hat and his lei, and he got out of the TARDIS. He's like click click, and he mentions that he might have hooked up with the Queen. So it was kind of fun seeing that happen in the 50th. It was like, oh, callback. We're getting a little, so it kind of tells you where he was in his timeline. So yeah, why not? Please. Virgin Queen wasn't really a Virgin Queen. Come on. That much power?
Well, she thought she was the first.
She had the power to define that.
More in the chats. Christopher Chatfield.
More in the
James.
chats. There you go.
Oh, whatever, James.
He understands.
Going back to Christopher, well, there we go. Noel from the TARDIS Zone. Please make sure you subscribe. The Doctor had a wife and kids on Gallifrey. He had a granddaughter. I'm still trying to figure out. Noel, can you cite where he mentioned that he had kids and a wife? That was the hard part, because I remember the Doctor.
He said that to Rose at one point, because Rose was
Did he?
fixing something, and yeah, he says that. Well, I had kids before.
I just remember the scene in Are You My Mummy? And the doctor the other doctor, and I can't think of his name there, he goes, I was a grandfather or something of that nature,
Open
and
your eyes.
and now I'm not either. The doctor's daughter, he explains this to Donna. Okay. I gotta check that out. I might have missed it. I'm sorry. 50 years of Doctor Who is going to drive anybody funky after a while. Wow. So thanks for bringing that up. No, okay. So he had a family, that we're aware of. Christopher Chatfield, the Doctor of the 60s, is not the same Doctor of the 2000s.
No.
She has matured, so we can now explore the deeper realms of the relationship and other cerebral topics, emotionally speaking. Where that's why I think the RTD ideology of making it more like the Buffy universe is in there when he's bringing in the heart to the series. The more emotional side of things, and just the cerebral. The Doctor goes in there, beats up the bad guy monsters, and then leaves.
A fair amount of 1 and 2's run was during the time, or at least from the U.S., they couldn't show husband and wife in at least having a same bed. They had 2 separate beds.
Yeah.
So anyway, folks, we are going to end the audio portion for our friends over at sci-fi.radio and our friends who are listening to the podcast on iHeartRadio or wherever you're listening to. Thank you for subscribing with us. Again, we want to thank the HHWS team. You can listen to us on iHeartRadio, sci-fi.radio.com. You can get the app for free, download for free whenever we premiere. Usually, I think we premiere on Saturdays over there. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, CBS Radio.com, Spreaker, FM Play, wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, listen to us. You can download it. Thank you so much, everybody. For those of you listening to the audio podcast, for those of you staying watching on the YouTube channel, on Twitch, on Facebook, we're going to continue on into the after party. Dave's got something special for us. So stand by, folks. We're just ending the audio version of our podcast. Want to thank everybody for joining us. And please, again, stay safe out there. Love you, Meredith. Thank you so much for being a big part of the legend of the Traveling TARDIS. We'll be right back. Stand by, please, while we go into the after party. And please continue to be safe. Become part of the legend. And now we're in the after party.
ESO drops Thursday at 8 p.m.
Yes. Oh, okay. Cool.
Wanted to get that on the audio part, but apparently not.
No.
Okay.
That's okay.
We have a guest.
What?
Yes, we have a special guest, and she's waiting. But she's not got her camera on. So, everybody, I want to welcome Melina.
Hi.
The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Where is your camera, girl?
I'm literally wearing my work clothes.
Oh, really? So
yes.
am I.
I'm wearing my.
We're wearing our work
and
clothes.
I don't look pretty hot right now. Trust me, I've been.
Neither do I. Well, you're fine. You're fine, Melina.
Were you told to be Christian? Anything's a step up.
I think.
I want to welcome Melina to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. For those of you who have gone and perused other podcasts, especially the TARDIS Zone, Noel, I'm hoping you're still out there. Melina, what else have you done?
What else have I done? Let's see. Hi, Melanie. Nice to meet you. We're almost twins because it's the same name almost.
Right.
Let's see. I've been with Dan for Facebook. I did a podcast of that. I am working on doing on my YouTube channel also. Do the same thing. But yeah, and there's no.
Yep, Noel says hi. I guess that's his way of saying hi. I'm here.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So I brought Melina on because she has been on other Doctor Who podcasts, so Facebook, the TARDIS Zone, plus what I think is the most wonderful of them all. She is bringing a little more diversity because she is in Puerto Rico.
Yes.
She's representing Doctor Who from Puerto Rico out there. So Melina,
you got an hour ahead of you. Is Puerto Rico?
I think she's an hour behind. It's 7:16 right now Eastern Standard. So where are you?
We're ahead. It's 8:16.
Yeah, they're an hour ahead.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah, I'm the one who's behind.
We don't do that daylight savings.
Yeah. Exactly. That's what I was thinking. Like, no, they don't do daylight savings in Puerto Rico.
No, we're super chill, and everybody freaks out. It's like, the daylight savings thing is, and then we're like, it doesn't affect us.
No worries at all.
But
so Melina, tell our audience a little bit about you and how did you get into Doctor Who?
Okay, pues my name is Melina, and let's see, I originally graduated from film school, so I studied films and TV production, and that's how I came about with Doctor Who, because my professor who was giving me classes of TV production, and we were doing a writing class, and he was giving an example about an episode of Doctor Who. I remember the Cyberman. Was it Cyberman? No, Daleks.
Okay.
He was talking about the Daleks, and I don't know, I can't remember. He mentioned something that it was so. He said something around lines like, "Oh, it's so cheesy, but it's perfect," something like that. And then he actually made us watch Doctor Who. He's a big fan, my professor, and so that
What
was
school is
around.
this? Because I need to go attend this school right now.
Yeah.
If that's a class.
It's the University of Puerto Rico.
Okay.
And it's in the city of the capital city, San Juan. And
Uh-huh.
so my professor made us watch Doctor Who, and then I have a friend who said I think I have DVDs. I think I have them here, and so that's literally that's how it started. It's like, but it was back in 2010 when I was taking that class, and when I started watching Christopher Eccleston. Hi, Dan. And Rose, and then then I understood what my professor was trying to say, because he's a huge fan, and so and then I fell in love with the series. So, and I had no idea there was a classic Who. I had no idea. Like, I found that out years after that. As I had no idea there was 1962, 1963, right? I had no idea at all, because I just did, my
if your professor had introduced you to Doctor Who and it was the new Who, that's probably where you're thinking, okay, well, let me start here, and
exactly.
your progression is going to be going that way.
Exactly. And it was like, the only things that I had trouble watching Doctor Who is because, like, what I know the basic English, but then, like, when they say certain things that I had no idea what chips were.
Because now if you're knowing English, it was American English, not
exactly,
and even Americans still have that kind of what's chips.
Yeah, we still have to put in the little thingy and then take a look at it.
Subtitles. But I learned a lot about that, and my professor used, like I said, the example of within the story writing, and he explained why, like, Daleks like that, why does it work, because he kept talking about, like, it sounds cheesy with the exterminate, right? It's like, oh, that's something that, very, very cheesy, like in a sci-fi. But but it works because this and this and that. And then he was, gosh, that was the whole class. and that's how that's how I got into Doctor Who, and I didn't stop till then. I mean, yeah.
Well, I can see where the professor's using the fact that a Dalek's just saying exterminate. I mean, they say other things, but having that catchphrase also builds the character brand, which I could see where that's where if it's more of a writing style or writing focused class, where that's why he was bringing that up.
Yeah,
very cool.
Yeah.
So, who's your doctor, Melina? Who's your doctor?
Peter Capaldi.
Okay. I like her already.
I'm crazy about it. I'm crazy about him. I love him. I mean, I love all my doctors. I really do. I'm not gonna be, but there's something so special about.
You see that, Melina?
Okay.
On Melanie. Melanie is an artist at Pieces of Melee on Instagram, and
she signed it.
That's him signing it too. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me let you do the talking thing.
You're good. That's the original. I did at MegaCon. Not MegaCon. No. Well, let me think. It was. I think I was like the last MegaCon Tampa Bay. And yes, it was the last MegaCon Tampa Bay, and it wasn't the busiest con. So I painted that from start to finish at the convention. And when I had him sign it, I had to tell him, don't touch your face. You're completely wet. He's like, wait, what? Because I'm like, yeah, please don't mess up the painting, sir. It's still.
You might have a stale there, Melanie, from
we'll
that.
We'll have acrylic all over.
Dan says
But
the
yeah.
English and the Americans, two people separated by common language. I just remember
Yes.
that from the movie Patton. So there you go,
Lost
Tom.
in the Pond. If you
And-
ever want to see differences between the US and the UK, there's a YouTube channel called Lost in the Pond, and Lawrence Brown is absolutely amazing, talking about every little facet about the differences of all the little memos that were lost in the pond with the translation. So, but yeah, Peter Capaldi went to school not for theater, but he went to school for art. So he is a trained artist. So when I had done that, I looked at him, I'm like, because I wasn't sure, because I know that I thought he minored in it, and he just looked at me and goes, "No, I majored." And I went, "Critique me." And he's like, "You really want to critique?" I'm like, "Break it down and make it better. Make me better. What's wrong with this? Go." And he stood up, put his hands down on the table, looked at it, and I mean, he broke that bad boy down. Like, okay, it needs more contrast here. You need to do this. I like what you did here, but and that's the thing with the portfolio review or critique. You do want to hear the good stuff, but you're there to hear everything that's horrible that you want to be better. And bless that's why he signed it 10 out of 10. He goes, "I'll give you 10 out of 10 anyway, but you need to go back and fix some stuff." So I ended up
could you imagine being him in your art class, like the
Oh
teacher
my
at the
God.
front of the guy?
Because he just had
and
that.
there he's there.
The ferocity in his eyes just became a light, and I was like,
there's a whole season where that's what happens. Remember, that's kind of how his whole plot ended there. Christian.
I totally agree with you, Noel. Peter was, for me, he was the best of New Who, and not only that, I think he was underappreciated. I think he should have stuck around for a couple more years, stuck with Nardole. I think he should have, in my opinion, I've said this a million times, I think if Nardole had started with Peter Capaldi, I think you would probably still see Peter in the role, because
absolutely.
We had buddies. Matt Lucas worked it out, and
Bill and Nardole. If you had Bill and Nardole and with Capaldi, I think we would be having a completely different conversation on ratings
everything.
And everything.
I'm lucky I married an English lady who was born in South America. Awesome.
Oh wow.
We're in South America.
Yeah, we're in South America. She can translate a lot of stuff for me.
Well, I mean, dialects. Well, clearly not. I would say clearly not Brazil, because then that's Portuguese. We're in South America, sir.
You didn't say what she was translating. Just she translate a lot of things.
Dave,
I'm still trying to learn Spanish, so.
You still got your thing ready there? Because I'm going to ask a question to Melina while you get ready. I'm just going to ask her the episode. Oh, you're ready.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead and do your thing, and Melina, while he's putting everything together, did you need to talk to him? Because I'm going to ask the question to Melina.
Go ahead and ask her the question.
You got it. I'm going to
like that. It's like. I'm right here. Everything I need is.
I know there's so much vamping. Christian, just do what you want to do.
Melina, what do you think? The question of this episode that we just had was: should the Doctor fall in love?
Yes.
What is your opinion on it?
Sorry, I said yes already. This is not a very. I don't think it's a popular opinion, because a lot of people have strong views about it. First off, I'm a little sucker when it comes to romance. And hear me out why I enjoy the love factor, I guess, in the Doctor. Not just in the Doctor Who in general, like Rory and Amy, not like that. I'm talking about specifically the Doctor. A lot of people say that it is because it's weak, and but I find it that love, that falling in love, I think that's what makes him stronger and could be his weakness at the same time. And I find that it creates good layers, like for the Doctor. That's how the way I see it. And one of the things that I had no idea people felt so strongly of what episode was that? My God, I keep getting them confused. Hellbent. Hellbent. Okay. That's when Clara finally left, right? That was Hellbent, right? I'm getting confused with the episode. There's
Hellbent or Heaven Sent.
They're
both
Hellbent. Heaven Sent, then Hellbent. Hellbent.
There we go. Well, Hellbent. A lot of people didn't like Hellbent because the Doctor would never do this and do that. That's actually the point. I mean, it's established. It's actually canon that the 12 loved Clara. Like they actually, it's canon, and you can look it up. It really is. Peter Capaldi said it himself that it was a truly romantic relationship, and that's the thing. He did look what they both did for willing to one one for the other. What Clara did, what 12 did, and it broke the universe, like pretty much literally it broke the universe. And that's what me was trying to say, like, oh right, because you did all this, all this sacrifice, all this thing, because you just missed your friend. And that's why I kind of like this, because it's you see the Doctor like this perfect being, everything. He's he makes no mistakes, and he doesn't make decisions like that. It doesn't, like he does. He's not rash like this, But
He does. He does. Let me. I will even introduce a classic episode, the Fifth Doctor in the Castor Valve.
Oh well, yeah,
when he
you're
gives
right.
the bat's milk to Perry. He
You're
could have
right.
easily taken it and said, "I'm sorry, Perry, you're going to have to go." But no, he gave it to his companion.
Right.
He was going to try to regenerate, but his life no. So it's not the first time. And not only that, Melina, but I'm going to build up on what you're saying there, if it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
The scene where, I can't think of her name. Was it the Sisterhood of Karn, the woman who was standing there with the general, and they turn to her and say, "How long was he in the confession dial?" And they answer, what was it, 4.5 billion years?
4.5, I think.
4.5 billion years.
I couldn't remember I just knew it was way too much. I'm like,
right. And Claire walks up to him, ready to punch his lights out, going like, "You did this for 4.5 billion years." And he looks at her like, "What?
Yeah.
What was I supposed to do?" And he's just like,
I had a duty of care.
He blew it off as nothing. It was just like, well, I was going to do it for you anyway. So yeah, and I still don't know if that's romantic per se, but there is a love there. There is a love relationship that he was, in this thing for 4.5 billion years.
He said that he had a duty of care, and that's something that he kept saying, that he had a duty of care. And yeah, like I said, I know a lot of people might disagree with me. That's fine, whatever. But I just like seeing this side of the Doctor. And I'm trying not to be biased, like I said, because I'm a sucker for romance. By the way, just for the record, I am not one of those toxic fanatic people, like the shippers that go crazy. I'm not that. I'm I'm the kind of person who reads her fan fiction quietly and enjoys it, and
ship and let ship.
Exactly. But
I have an AO3 account. I'm good with you.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I will honestly, I will vehemently fight anyone who is against fanfic, because if I can do fan arts, if people can make fan recordings and fan videos, why can't they write? At what point did writing and doing any type of expressing in literature become not art? Go ahead and be art. And if it's not, and if it's going to be more the non-safe for work kind of stuff, fine. I don't care. You're an adult. If it's the stuff where some people have done amazing, things where you're playing in a sandbox and you're learning with characters and learning about, maybe you want to write something, but you don't know how to, do character development. You don't know all those kind of things. Grab your favorite thing. If it's Doctor Who, write a story, use the characters, learn all those ins and outs of having to write dialogue, because let's face it, the last time a lot of people got to do that was middle school, high school, maybe some college.
Yeah, college.
So I'm you're never gonna hear me be anti fanfic. Get in there and write. And get in there and read. Support the people who are just writing for fun. It's great. Some of these stories are absolutely incredible.
I'll also argue that the ultimate fanfic, Big Finish.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The ultimate fanfic.
Neil Gaiman has flat out said that he's won Hugo Awards and for his fanfics of that were Lovecraft. So if you think about it, there's a lot of fanfics out there that were just taking, I like Dante's Inferno, so I'm just going to make my own fanfic of it.
Melina,
get in there and write.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the team. But I want to turn it over to Dave because I want him to do his unboxing. So Dave, without further ado, let's get it started, my friend.
So I got 3 things to show. 2 of them won't take long. I got a couple of questions. What I unboxed on last week's show, which was a completely off-topic show. So we had blinks. I'm gonna just have to turn off the blur, aren't I? It's
show us your mailing address.
Not normal location, so it's just kind of a terrible background. So please ignore everything in the background. And hey, don't. I'm trying to turn that off. There.
There we go.
Ding.
Wow,
there
you
we
have
go.
a house and doors and a mirror. My God.
Right?
I like the color blue.
So this is Blinks, and I find this extra amusing, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But this is a great game system, and it looks like this. So these are all pieces that magnet together, and each of them have a game loaded onto them. You turn them on, and in this case, I can turn them on 1, 2, and then I take this third one, I turn it on, and I hold it for a second, and it will actually come around and teach.
Oh my God!
Crazy.
Everything else, the games. And it takes a couple of seconds because it's just connected through a tiny magnet port, and you can have dozens of these. Like this one's got 6 in it, and I've got another expansion that's 6. This will keep blinking till it turns on. But these 2 are actually coming out. Tangle and Mimic are coming out on Kickstarter on the 22nd, along with 2 other games as part of a party pack. But this game, so this one I loaded was called Zenflow. I push it and it will go through and change the colors in different ways. And this one is just straight up a meditative Zen thing. And then if I turn it off, I can turn all of them off. Just have to hold it down for a couple seconds, and they all go to sleep. So this is that. That's what this one was. And I had a couple questions about it, so I wanted to throw that out there.
Thought it was about weeping angels.
Yes.
I know,
yeah,
right?
exactly. Second thing I've got here is if anyone watching is a member of the Doctor Who Appreciation Society,
James,
they put out 2 magazines.
Sorry.
Yeah.
They put out. Yep. So they've got Celestial Toy Room is their physical publication.
Oh man.
Melina's gonna need a copy of that.
Yes, we do.
So you can totally order copies through the society. So it's a little over a page long of what I've got. But this is the first time I've been published outside of like newspapers and stuff as a writer, as opposed to as opposed to a photographer.
Oh, I
My
love
my photography is all over magazines.
So you and I have now written for
Cosmic Mask and now this.
The Celestial Toy Room. They interviewed me for one of the Celestial Toy Rooms. Plus, where can people get a copy? Could they find that?
It is flipped down to the banners. Ding. So there's the
lossonline.co.uk.
Yep. And just for the record, for the oops, no, not that one yet. For Blinks, that's their website as well. Like I said. And I'll be writing about those Tangled and Mimic. I'll be doing some stuff on that over the next week and a bit. So by all means, keep an eye on my site for all of that sort of thing. Ding.
That's right. I got to admit, Tom, I kind of like they've been in the background. DWHOs, for those of you not familiar with the Doctor Who Appreciation Society, there's actually videos about them out there, including one where they actually contributed to a charity where a bunch of doctors were involved out there a long time ago. But it's the Doctor Who Appreciation Society, and you can check out what Dave had written, and you can actually see an interview that they did with me online. So that's cool. But yeah, they're still out there. It's like the Guardians of Gallifrey here in Orlando. We know they're out there. We just don't see them as well. But they've been around for, I think, and I'm not exaggerating, 40 years.
Whoa, really?
Yeah. They're a small Doctor Who a group get together. They watch Doctor Who episodes.
Orlando?
In Orlando, yeah. They meet at, I don't know if they still do, but they usually have monthly meetings over at Scifi. I think is it Sci-Fi City, I think, over by Home Depot off of East Colonial. 86, yeah, Tom, thank you. My goodness, yeah. I was actually at one of their meetings when they were at a pizza joint on the corner over there. So, Melanie Donahue Infernal Fanfic was done really well by Larry Niven and Jay. Okay, so that's the okay. So this is a segment that I'm trying to get Melanie to do. It's the chocolate or candy of the episode. And what is that?
Oh,
Chomp.
Tasty tastiness.
Your audio's off, my dear.
your audio's off.
Oh, you're muted or something's.
Yeah, she's muted.
Then unmute me. Okay.
You're unmute me. Yeah. I don't know if it was you or me. Yeah.
Power to.
Heck, it might have been me. I soloed her.
Anyway, Chomp. Cadbury. It's from the UK. This is part of the one of the box that I think this is the last one because this is really good. It was like just a little. Think of a Heath bar. You know how they're really thin, square, but it's toffee. Imagine that's just flat out caramel covered in chocolate. It's delicious.
Let me explain.
But you have to get them. They're only in the UK. I've never seen these here.
Let me give you a little background, Melina. Melanie had Mark Robinson. Yeah, he gave you an entire box of UK delicacies. And there's actually a whole episode on our YouTube channel of her going through all the box. And
God, forget how messy my room is.
Oh my God.
Forget how messy everything is. It's terrible.
I'm trying to convince her to do a weekly episode on her show where she just picks
I'm still going through it all.
She
puts so much in here.
I know. So every week, every episode, Melanie will bring out and discuss a piece of confectionery from the UK, and then hopefully she'll try it.
Oh, I love that. I absolutely love that. Let me see.
Surprise. But it's the contraband kind.
Oh.
These cannot be found in the US.
I'll try to remember to bring some down when I come to Mexico.
Apparently, dumb Americans will eat these.
That is pretty much why. Yeah.
That's
what the toy's in. The toy is in the inside. It's kind of bright right there. But the inside of those Kinder eggs, the ones over there, it's this little kind of yellow. Sorry, there we go. The light is kind of making it all weird. This is what's inside the egg. So you would open this up. If I can actually open it up, probably can't because I'm crazy. Of course I can't open it. Why life? There we go. And then the inside of here would be the toy. But we can't have that because we're idiots and would apparently try eating this whole thing and trying to eat this. So that's why in the US, I don't know if it's the same thing for Puerto Rico. It's like half and half, where half of it's chocolate, half of it's the toy. So I don't know what FDA regulations and stuff like that Puerto Rico has adopted that as long as the US, because I know some things you guys got exempt from. So that's why it's like,
yeah,
I'm not sure whether or not you get those or not. But
it's just like it's just I was at the airport. I was talking and I sent you a message. I was like, oh, I'm here at the airport. I don't know what time I'll be able to do the live stream, but with here it works here is the agriculture. The USDA, the agriculture inspection.
Okay.
So things like fruits, I think they don't let them go by, or fruits, and I think meats or something like that. My cousin, I don't know why in the world she did that. She knew that, and I told her because I work at the airport. She brought in what's it called, cordon bleu. I was like, Mija, you can't. You can. They're gonna take it away from you. It's like, no, they're gonna do. Yes, they wow. And they took it. They took it away. But
same thing. Flying from one country to another, or depending on what area. Even if you're flying into a territory, people of the U.S. flying U.S. to U.S. Even if it's a territory, you have to double check to make sure what you can and can't have.
Yes, absolutely. And
no, before you go. That's the whole point of this. No, before you go. So, Dave, what else do you have there?
So, this showed up as I was leaving the house here. And again, notice I have my address blocked off, Christian. I did pre-open this because as the box kind of was the worse for wear. So I did pre-open it just so I could make sure it was not damaged, and it was not. Fun little packing. It is Don't Blink.
A board game?
So we've gone from blinks to Don't Blink.
Look what you did there.
This is coming out. This is not even officially released yet. It is coming out shortly. So I have not opened it yet.
Seal.
Yeah. But it is, just for the record, Gale Force 9 celebrating 10 years. That's what their little sticker is.
Okay.
Gale Force 9 also does the...
No, I'm not, Tom.
Time of the Daleks board game, which I've shown a couple of times.
Yes.
Shush, stop.
So, here we go. We're going to open this up and see what's inside.
Yeah, Tom, the pizza joint on Lake Underhill. Yeah, so long ago.
Big terrifying rule book.
Oh, hello.
Ah!
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you blinked, then we'll go. Zip.
Oh crap!
Yeah. So it's not a very long rule book, which is nice.
But I like the design of it. It's not. It looks nice.
Yeah.
It's
professional
and
to each doctor personality. Wow, that
it's
is
a good. They had a good artist with a good that actually they paid for InDesign and had them lay that out nicely.
Yeah. Oh, this is not a small company. No. So yeah, they're good. Some punch outs. So here's your playable characters. So you got. You can be the Doctor. You can be. Whoops.
Who can wait? Dr. Amy, Clara, Rory. Okay.
Yeah. And then, so you can tell the difference between them on the board, numbered angels.
So they're sticking to more like the Angels Take Manhattan-ish?
I haven't opened it long
no, because you got Clara.
Yeah. But the nice thing is with this as well, I have their other game, Time of the Daleks. Oh, look, there's an ad for Time of the Daleks in there. Does have a friends thing, which I have not had a chance to review yet. So, but you can actually get, so I can have miniatures of all these characters and probably easily swap them out.
Ooh.
So I will definitely be trying that at some point.
It's kind of like
Legion. And you got, bags. Yay for bags. So some nice little tile-based
your tile-based
board.
Map?
Yeah, which is nice. This is going to be about for comparison size
6x6.
Yeah, that's about right.
I worked for a pen company for 17 years. I can tell you.
Possibly. I was gonna say, is it even one you might have done? I don't know. It's rubbed off. So we got some bases because, of course, there's stand-ups.
I was legit gonna tell you how.
And then a bunch of cards. So we got. Clearly, this is referencing the number 1 angel. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
But then on the back one, because I'm not going to rip these open. Hero line of sight. Each activated angel must check the blank card of each hero that can see them when they attempt an action. As soon as they can be seen while moving, heroes can see all squares in front of them in the same room, adjacent squares left and right through adjacent doorways, but only to the adjacent square. So it's actually got a little, here's the map tiles that we saw.
Yeah.
And it shows a little.
Don't open the package. You have no nails and you might hurt the cards. Don't stir.
So that is Don't Blink. I'm going to try and get this played as soon as I possibly can because but it is I do actually leave for the US here in about a week, so I may or may not get to there we go. I was able to open it up without damaging anything because it is a nice version of shrink wrap. I'm heading down to Nevada for most of March. For those gamers in watching, I'll be at Dice Tower West in Las Vegas. I will be at the Gamma Trade Show, which is more of an industry thing than a public thing, in Reno. And then because the company that's bringing me out is Steeped Games and their game is Chai, we're going to the World Tea Expo in Vegas.
Ooh.
So here's some of the cards here.
Rory, Clara, Amy.
So when it was referencing that special Don't Blink card for Amy. If this card is not revealed at the start of cleanup phase, reveal it and recover up to 2 Don't Blink cards. Special Don't Blink cards may not be recovered. Don't know exactly what that means because I haven't read it, but there is cards that show blink and then don't blink on the other side. So
that'd be cooler if the cards were marked the nose, the legs, and this is wrong.
Yeah, right.
See. So the angel cards.
This StreamYard's going to be hard to watch after.
Yeah, I'm kind of wishing
lots of angels.
I'm kind of wishing it wasn't Clara, but it was like River.
Yeah.
I think you could toss.
Well, who
River
knows?
in
There could they
be
again? I haven't dug into it. Right, there could be other options down the road.
Oh,
Gale Force 9 does amazing stuff, and if I pop back over to my banners,
No, I
section
want to be
here-
critical about something I know nothing of.
Yeah, well, I mean, neither do I at this point.
There's basically every Doctor Who fan that's gatekeeping.
Oh, come on! Every nerd,
Every nerd, every
fandom that exists.
Every gatekeeper of gatekeeping.
Yeah.
All right.
Let
So that
people be
is
happy.
exactly. So that is Doctor Who Don't Blink, the board game. You'll be able to see that. Like I said, I'll get that up and reviewed as soon as possible. All my Doctor Who board game reviews at therathole.ca/who. And
I
yeah,
got some
so that's
pictures in the overlay. As
Oh
well.
yeah, I did because I found it hilarious when you said, "Hey Dave, have you seen the TV movie?"
I hate you. I hate you so much right now.
That photo.
Have I seen it?
Drawing for me.
That's the New Year's park. The park with the kiss is not that same park. It's a different park. I did not go there, but I did have a chance to meet up while I was in Vancouver with DG.
Yay! That's so awesome.
And right about where those two shadows create an X on the ground.
Yes.
Next to me, that's where the TARDIS landed.
Oh, that's so cool.
And that entrance back there, that extra behind that is where they built the fake wall.
Yeah. So it was no
around the corner from that is the there's a fish. There's a neon sign that's around the corner from that.
Yeah.
I mean, so I got to see a few of the different set locations
of the movie that half
summer,
our
of the
audience
movie.
loves. Half the
audience hates. Yes.
Or not hates. I mean, loathes because of a certain.
Loathes. Exactly.
I don't hate the movie. I just didn't appreciate some of the
Wait,
things that took
wait.
place in there.
Uh-oh.
Wait. James, are you being?
Yes.
Are you serious?
No, he's not.
Really?
Seriously.
This is a wait that you're being honest, or you're being sorry? Wait, what? Hold on, James.
Wait, it was
Herman.
filmed in Vancouver. Yes, it was filmed in Vancouver, dude.
Yep. This alleyway. This is the heart of Chinatown.
He's not being. He's not being serious.
You better not be serious. Turn your Whovian card in for a punching.
Hey, I know other people who didn't know. I have a friend who used to run a restaurant directly around the corner of that, and like almost in one of the shots.
Didn't recognize that that's where they were.
She hadn't seen the movie yet and just hadn't realized.
Oh.
She's a newer Who person, so she hadn't seen that.
That's That's fair.
So I'm like, no, I'm not going to tell you why you need to watch this, but you really, really, really need to watch this. I'm so sad that her COVID killed her little restaurant. It was a great dumpling restaurant called Hey Dumplings. And it was absolutely amazing, and I loved it, and tons of nerdy stuff going on. But yay for Dr. Jenny Fever! Yes, that was her roller derby name as an announcer. She's a wonderful human being. All right, so that is what I've got to open up and show off today. Yeah.
And we promise you, I got a hold of Mort. We promise you that we will be doing the Worlds Apart game. If you haven't already, let me see if it's.
I hope so, because he's gonna be my.
Yeah.
I've already, he'll be my Uber driver when I go to Europe someday.
Please
again.
go over to Doctor Who Worlds Apart. That's Doctor Who Worlds Apart. Sign up. You'll be able to play the game for free, but if you want the really cool, snazzy, jazzy cards, you'll definitely want to put in a little bit of coin, and we will be. I don't have one. I don't have two. I don't have three. I have 4 packs that still have yet to be open.
Yeah, I need to look at mine.
So you're in trouble.
Unless Mort's added more to my stuff, I think I have 2 sitting there waiting.
We will be playing the game hopefully very soon, but if you want to, all you have to do every day, if you want to accumulate and get some good packs and you don't want to spend any money, Doctor Who Worlds Apart, sign in every day. You get 10 pan decks that you can use to get cards. And I'm still learning about it, but the blockchain technology.
NFT I think everybody now knows what an NFT is to the point where
I want to point this out because there is all of this stuff with the NFTs. These guys are they have gone above and beyond to not just be carbon neutral, but actually a net positive. And the technology is being used properly and nicely here.
Yes.
Not the way it has in some other areas. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, the fact that this makes more sense, and it's more logical how the NFT is applied, so that if you're doing a card game, you're purchasing the card. It's that use this is one card, like one of one, just like you would if you were purchasing a pack of cards for any type of gaming. Let's say even if you were doing Pokemon, and let's say that you were doing Pokemon and it was a grade A, or it was a grade 10 or 9.6, and you get it graded, you got all that kind of stuff. That particular card has a serial number, all this kind of fun stuff. They're applying that principle with their NFTs to this game, since it's in a virtual space. They're applying that so that if you have this card and the game takes off like crazy and you want to sell this card because it's actually going to remember to keep the data attached to the card, such as your wins, your losses, how many times you've played it, its serial number, when it was open, all that kind of data with this card being played is going to be tracked. So it could be like you playing Pokemon and going, look, this is my favorite Pokemon. It wins everything. It's never lost. This has a way of actually affording you to track that particular card to say all the wins attached to it.
Actually, Dave,
so it's very interesting how it can keep all these statistics because of the NFT, it being attached to as an NFT. The part of it, that's just the reasoning why I kind of like it. But yeah, as of right now, I mean, there's so many people talking about NFTs. It's kind of insane. It's like, look, this is my Baja Blast. I'm going to attach an NFT to it. I'm like, but that's a real thing. Why would you do that? That makes no sense. Oh, I'm taking a picture of it. Wait, what? What? Now you're just doing it for fippery. It makes no sense. At least here, to me, I'm on board with it because it makes you can make an argument what value it's bringing to it and how it's connecting to this inanimate, non-tangible item. But that being said,
on the bottom. This is a first for us.
So you can buy them, you can sell them because you have something attached. So in a way, it's also to me like if you're playing. I'm a big Star Wars: The Old Republic person, and Lord knows I've been on the cartel market buying weapons. So if you're somebody that's into MMORPGs and you have those weapons out there or armor or relics or all those kind of things that you have to build and people spend real money for those things, it's kind of also is a little bit of that kind of makes sense again, buying a card, so I mean I can present a decent enough argument, not just live here, or someone could present even a better argument for this to me, it being an NFT and being purchased and stuff. That being said, as Christian had pointed out, you can purchase these not using actual money. If you do the going online each day, they give you 10 Pendex, and this was supposed to be in 2021. This game released, so if you've been doing it every day, guess what? You've bought yourself a couple packs already.
And only that, make sure. I think the cheapest is the $4.99 packs, the Time Lord Victoria's Core. Yeah. Make sure you're just not buying 5 of those.
Yeah, some of them are random. Make sure you're reading what you're getting. Some of these packs are randomized, and that's where you're random. You don't know what you're going to get. Some of these packs are not randomized. Some of these are you will be buying these 5 cards for $5.99 or $4.99, and that means if you buy 18 packs of this same pack, you now have 18 of the same. You have 18 of this card, 18 of this card, 18 of this card. So please read the fine print. Read what you're buying. Know before you go.
And Melina, this is a playable game. We're going to be
playing
it live.
Looking at it.
Once Mort gets his stuff together.
I'm going to have an army of Ood. My army of
you got an army of Ood. What was it? Nisha got a thing of legendaries, and
I got every legendary card you could possibly get.
I got third and
no.
I'm a happy.
Yeah, I've got. Those are mine. I got 5 of them there. So they've slightly adjusted the design on it.
And they do have original artwork, which reminds me, I need to ask Mort how I can do some art for some things, because I want to art a card. Dang it, Mort! I want to do this anyway. Make it so.
Just
But
saying,
yeah, a lot of
TARDIS card, Mart. It's a podcast, and you can make up whatever the heck we can do on that. You know, trumps everything. I have no idea. But yeah, we've come. Yeah, we've gone way over on the show. But I'm glad you guys.
It's an after party. We don't care.
Yeah, after party is just
I'm
completely
awake.
nuts. You're right. Got food in you.
I went to Taco Bell because I realized, oh God, I got to be on the show, and I forgot. And I swung by there, and I got myself a Baja Blast. So
I love the frozen Baja Blast. Oh, I love the frozen Baja Blast.
Never had that. Funny enough,
I don't think we have that. I think did you guys get the loaded fries?
We did get the loaded fries.
It was a limited time though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was limited time, really, because
Yeah.
we've been doing that. We've been doing that since forever. The loaded fries actually came from here.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, that makes sense because it could be Puerto Rico could be its own market, a test market. You can have your own little test kitchen kind of deal. But yeah, I don't know. Do you have wonderful Mountain Dew color?
I haven't seen.
If you're into Star Wars, Bad Batch, this is Hauser.
Star Wars.
This is Hauser. Sorry.
I have not eaten. I literally just got here with I haven't even taken my shoes off. I'm wearing my
oh my God, I am too.
My work uniform, and my hair is a mess because I was at the
Alrighty, so without further ado, I'm gonna say
semi-related.
I don't know what we're gonna do the next. I have a plan for the next episode, and it might surprise everybody if certain people are involved. So please be on the lookout for the latest episode coming up on The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. We do this weekly, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Tuesdays, 3 p.m. Pacific. And our friends in the UK, if you're still up, thank you so much for joining us, 11 p.m. UK time. Thank you. Yeah, some people are out there and they watch it. I'm like, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
James, connect up with me. I'll hook you up with the local Ghostbuster groups. But yeah, I'm sitting in Calgary. That's where Ghostbusters Afterlife was largely filmed. I have a ton of friends that were involved in it.
I love that movie so much.
Yeah.
Okay, Dave, Melanie, and Melina, our newest cast member. Do you have any closing words before we go ahead and end the show?
Nothing. Just thank you for the opportunity. I'm sorry I got a little late. It's just it's work stuff, but thank you. It's fun, and I love the dynamic here. I really do, and I want to do more. I really do. Thank you so much.
Melina, stay afterwards. I'm just going to end the show, so you're going to see the closing credits and everything, and we'll talk later. Noel, thank you for joining us there. So it's nice to see Noel on this side. And I know you're up late.
Noel.
So thank you so much, and check it out over the TARDIS on the official YouTube channel out there, as well as subscribe to all of our friends on the YouTube channels out there as well. Check out Dave over at therathole.ca, and Melanie over on the Instagram, Pieces of Melee, and Melina, she's going to be all over the place, and she's going to be joining us. So thank you,
and Mike.
And Mike Faber.
And Mike Faber, yeah, that's right. And we have a special episode. And I actually got he hasn't told me yet, but I'll go ahead and let everybody know. Dan over at the Spacebook actually did an interview with me. So you'll see that more once it gets released on Let's Keep Them Throw. So thank you, everybody. Where's Mike? Wouldn't you like to know?
And you can listen to me and Mike and a couple of other fine folks Thursday at 8:00. The podcast drops on Earth Station 1.
Yep.
We had some very interesting comments about Poirot and the Death of the Nile that is very similar to the conversations we had here.
And if you want to listen to Earth Station Who, since you're going to be going to ESO Network, the substation of ESO Network is Earth Station Who. We had talked, I can speak, about this exact same topic. And if you want to hear that topic where we actually get to River Song and we get to all that kind of fun stuff, and guess what? You're still going to get me, and you're going to get Mike, and you're going to get Mary, and Howdy Mike as well. And oh no, it was one other person I can't remember.
Actually, yeah, but our episode was much
not
more
working. But yeah, you
And
can also
Kevo
go on to
Reaping
Earth Station Who, and you can watch that one also. Again, romancing and all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah, I'm into that. Come on. I'll join.
Everybody, again, please stay safe out there. Thank you again for checking out The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Don't forget to go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Traveling TARDIS. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are slowly closing in on 2,000 Facebook subscribers. We've already celebrated our first. No, I'm sorry. Yes, no, I take it all back. We have celebrated our first anniversary on YouTube since the end of January. Yes. I just wanted to make sure. It throws me off the time around here.
Yes.
Melina, just stay after. You'll see the closing credits, and then we'll have a little discussion out there. Everybody, please stay safe. Thank you for joining us at The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, where all opinions matter. And we will catch you next week. Thank you. Everybody, have a good one.